Hi, everybody. This is Mike Donnelly. I'm a builder remodeler here in Southwest Florida. Well, I've been a contractor for over 30 years, starting in Central New York and now here. My whole adult life was essentially chasing the magic dollar, making a bunch and losing more. Well, a few years ago, after turning 60, it struck me that the almighty dollar was like a false god. The realization happened while I was completing about my 55th home with still another 20 to go. The home sold well, but the pricing was off. So what that caused for me was a dramatic loss of money, which in combination with what I discovered, I guess was probably a blessing in disguise. But the reality was this. It was not anybody else's fault but mine, although I would like to blame a whole different group of people other than myself, but let's be real here. All right. So during this whole scenario, I was remodeling a two-story home on Bokeelia off of the coast of Cape Coral and in Pine Island. And my final day there, the owners were Enrique and Yvonne, and we got along with them famously. And the last day was a Saturday. We had a couple beers, and I asked Enrique specifically. I said, I want to do something different. I want to be able to help others on my way out the door here. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and I have to be able to find a way to make my life worthwhile. And I said, can you give me some advice that would help? And both he and Yvonne chimed in that they had parents that came to live with them. And those parents were mobility challenged, and they had to remodel their home, retrofit their home to be able to accomplish their accessibility needs. Well, what was interesting about that was that they spent anywhere between $50 and $100,000 to do that. And I said, "You spent that much money to do this?" I said, "Yeah, my parents couldn't get through. Our parents couldn't get through the doorways. Doorways were too small. They had to step up to get into the house. They had to step over a curb to get into the shower. It was a logistical nightmare for them. So the accessibility needs of older folks and the disabled and veterans that are in need are essential. Mike, why don't you find a way to be able to help those folks?" So what I did was, after we said our goodbyes, it was a Saturday and a Sunday. I started doing research on this. Couldn't find really anybody that was doing this on a full-time basis. And it just kind of struck me that why? We live in an area of the country that there are so many seniors and an awful lot of disabled individuals. And not to mention the country in general, because that's true. The whole world is full of this need. So I couldn't understand why it wasn't being done. So I made a plan, and that was on Monday. I changed my whole business plan to drive in that niche, to find a way to be able to help those folks, which I didn't know a whole lot about. But it gave me an incentive to find out more about it and to structure my life in a way that was going to make a difference. So I continued doing what I had to do regarding the builds that I was doing, but then I immersed myself in the education to find out about this. So I, within a few days, I literally changed my whole business plan to be able to help these folks, doing all the research, seeing all the unbelievable scenarios that they had to deal with to get through their homes, watching videos, going on Pinterest to see the pictures that showed this stuff. It just amazed me as to the dramatic needs folks have and were not being addressed. So long story short, I converted my business. It took me a good year of financial stress to be able to get this to where it was actually doable. But at that point, because I was able to change my trajectory, to find a way to strategize this whole thing, it became evident to me that this was where I should go. My whole life changed. The mission of my life became to be able to help these folks. My purpose every day when I got up was to change the people's lives. And how do I do it? How did I do it? I came and I contacted a bunch of individuals that were in the mobility business, vendors, contractors, home health individuals, all kinds of different people that educated me as to how to do it. And since I had a large construction background, I was able to do this and transition into this from a construction standpoint relatively easily. And remember now, I didn't know how some of these things were done, but it's not rocket science once you understand what's going on. So here we go. I said, let's do this. Let's make it happen. Let's put people first and profit second. And by doing that, it's changed my whole life. Profit is coming. People are being helped. The level of satisfaction is fantastic in the individuals that we help. And certainly my whole level of satisfaction in the construction industry has become, it's just life changing. I love doing this. I love the feeling of walking out of a person's home knowing that I've made a complete impact on their lives. I want to thank you for listening to this and understand that this is a mission that all of us should undertake because these people need our help. Thanks for listening and take care.